Hey guys, welcome back. This is Bill. I'm the expat prepper that lives in the Philippines. Tonight I'm filming in my water shop, and I wanted to first say sorry for the road noise. It's about 8 p.m. at night and people are moving around outside, so we're just going to deal with it. But I thought it would be important to film from this location to kind of highlight my point about water. Now, I sell water. I produce drinkable water, purified mineral, alkaline, etc. And I have a large amount of water stored here on site, as well as I have my own wells that are deep to get basically free water now. Keep in mind, I did have to put the well in. But my point is number one thing about prepping is water. And the reason for that is your body can typically go 2 to 7 days without water, depending on your location and your body type, right? So making sure you have drinkable water is the number one priority for almost everybody, okay? Now, you can pick your favorite news website, news source, or whatever you want, and just Google global water shortages 2023, okay? You're gonna see a ton of articles about it, and we're talking about drinking water tonight specifically. Granted, there's been droughts and floods, right? So either too much water in one spot and not enough in another, but we've definitely had some crazy water times the last year. But specifically around drinking water, water that you can actually consume or cook with that is not going to make you sick and kill you, all right? So most of the world, the Western world anyways, just turn on their tap and they have somewhat pretty much drinkable water. Now there are some obviously issues that have been around for a while, like Flint, Michigan, and a bunch of other places where the groundwater and the sources that the water companies are getting their water from has been contaminated, which is becoming more and more of a thing, right? You have these train wrecks in the US that are putting diesel and other chemicals into the rivers, which then are being used to go to the water plant and et cetera, et cetera. Groundwater in China is so polluted it won't even grow vegetables, right? So getting drinkable water is an actual thing right now. As a prepper, I'm really excited and happy that I have my own water source that will outlast me for a couple of reasons. One is it ticks off the box of having a water supply. And this is whether it's a brownout period or grid down, you know, I can still run and produce water here with my generators and some other things. Now, the question I'll ask you, because I sell water now, I do this daily, how much would you be willing to pay for water during a crisis when there is a grid down situation and you're not getting water from your, municipality, or you're not getting water from your own sources? Bottled water down at Costco or S&R, that'll be sold out real quick. And the other thing too, I want you to think about this. Most emergency agencies like FEMA, Red Cross, USAID and such, they have a limited amount of water. Now you always see that the first thing they do when there's a crisis, whether it's a hurricane, an earthquake, or any kind of crisis in an area, is they bring in water because they know that's the number one priority. But now, let's say it's been 10 days no power, like they experienced in Texas, okay, during the winter. Now they had snow, so they could, in theory, melt the snow and get some kind of water to drink. But the reality is, I have my own water, and it's more valuable than gold during a crisis situation. Literally, it is the most valuable thing I can barter with. I don't do precious metals because I think that's a useless prep against crisis. Maybe a finance crisis, but even with a finance crisis, you have to understand that people need to pay for water, and they're going to start trading things for water because they can't get to their money, grid down situation, ATMs offline, they're not working, whatever the reason. But so they're going to take a hard look around and say, well, what do I have that I can trade for water? And you know what? I'm going to trade for only certain things, right? I don't want to become a hoarder in a junk house, but there are things I will trade for, and I will sell water people that do have money, because eventually I'm hoping the power will come back on or something will happen. But my primary barter is going to be water. I'm not going to barter any of the food you guys seen in my pantry. That's for me to live on and survive. And a matter of fact, my 90-day plan is relying heavily on me trading water for food. So what would you personally price water at? Okay? A can of food? Can of Spam? So as I was saying, being able to produce and have water for myself, and this includes ice, by the way, during a crisis is key and vital to my preps, right? Absolutely. I would say, 20% of my food is freeze-dried food that requires water to rehydrate. Now, at the same time, it's also my main plan for bartering. I plan on selling water during a crisis, just like the last pandemic where we sold a lot of water because more people were at home during the lockdowns and they were consuming more water. So fortunately, we were still able to stay in business. Now, not everyone can build a water station. I get that. Not everyone has wells. I get that too. And not everyone has the space to store 2,000, 4,000 liters of water. So the thing is, you need to start figuring out now what you want to trade for water. Because as the guy selling you the water, I pretty much set the price. Let's think about this for a second. I'll set the price for water and you don't have to buy it because there's going to be enough people to buy it. Now, as a barter situation, I think it's great because during non-crisis times, it's a commodity that I sell daily. So I'm earning money selling water. Now, some things I'd have to consider would be supplies of the RO filters and other filtration filters that I use that, I have a limited stock on hand. And I'm thinking about ways of increasing that stock so I can go, 6 months to maybe a year without having to worry about it. And then this would be something that I would put on my list of things I'm bartering for, right? So, along the lines of food, ammo, solar, anything, liquid gas, things of these nature, right? The primary key survival things you need. I'm going to have a list that says, if you need water, this is, what you got to find for me in order to get drinkable water. And I don't know what the rates or anything would be, right? Now, we've donated a lot of water out here in non-crisis situations, right? So, at funerals, we'll donate water, or if somebody's having a sporting event and they need water, we'll donate water. So we have the ability to produce and donate water now. So what more in a crisis situation, right? A lot of these water shops are not on their own wells out here. A lot of these water shops do not have power backup. So I'm really putting myself into a pretty good spot of being the doomsday water king, I guess, if you want to coin a term. But it's a prep that's very important for me for the reasons I've stated. One is I have my water. Two, it's a barter item. So the question is how much are you willing to pay, or what will you give for drinkable water during a crisis? I think you'll find that it's more than you thought it would be, and I'm banking on that if a crisis happens, that I have the ability to barter with my water. And if you think this isn't happening, again, look around the world, pick any news source you want. Drinking water is declining globally, okay? That's just a fact. Pick your own news source. I'm not making it up. Pick one you like and just search that one for drinkable water. And you're going to see that's an issue. A bottle of water costs more than gasoline in some states in the U.S. Drinking water like Fiji and some of these other big brands are actually more expensive per gallon than gasoline. Go figure, it's already a high-end commodity. This is it. I just wanted to really get this video out. Because I'm stressing a little bit about global drought and drinkable water. And yes, I understand that the crops are a whole nother issue with lack of water and flooding, which has the same effect as destroying the crop as well. But making sure you have drinkable water in your preps. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to have 90 days stored up in your apartment. That's just not going to happen unless you live alone. And we're not even talking about hygiene, you know, giving yourself a bath, washing your hair, brushing your teeth, other things that water are used for. So that was today's video. Just my little thoughts on bartering water in the time of crisis, you know, without being, I guess I could say without being a profiteer, yet at the same time making sure that my preps that I'm preparing get the ROI that they deserve in a crisis situation. All right, guys, I know this is a little bit odd. It's a little different than my normal videos, but I do appreciate if you hit that like button if you're still watching. Think about how you might want to help my channel. There's several options listed down below. And once again, until next time, everyone please be safe. Thank you.